Oops, my mic was muted this whole time. Oopsies. Oops. Who cares? Spell Pharaoh. Okay, my bad. Good thing the stream hadn't started. Well, I mean it did start, but no one was here, so who gives a shit? I love it. I'm a big fan of when I make mistakes, but I noticed, so that's all that matters. You didn't really miss much. I was just singing along to More by Sheena Ringo, because that's a very fucking good song. It's the perfect wedding song, really. If I believed in marriage, I would say I'd want to get married to it. In other news, I do hate OBS, because OBS just, like, for whatever reason this past week has decided to shit the bed on formatting, so it's just been a pain. But, whatever. It's probably my fault, because I'm not super familiar with OBS, even though I use it a shitload. It's weird. My heart is very sure no one else could love you more. Good song, good song. Welcome to the stream if you just joined. I don't think anyone's here. I'm not holding my breath, to be honest. I kind of didn't even want to stream today, but I figured, you know, if you break the chain, you're never going to stream again, so even on days you don't want to stream, you gotta. It doesn't even matter that much if I do stream, to be honest, but whatever. I am annoyed that when I posted my Twitch link on Twitter, it used my old icon for the thumbnail. I don't know why. It's annoying. I commissioned this new icon for a reason. I like my old icon, don't get me wrong, but this is the new icon I kind of want to use for branding purposes. Did you laugh? Did you laugh at the joke? I said branding purposes, because I don't actually care about branding. I just like the new icon. Whatever. I was thinking maybe I'll shoot for 10 runs per stream, so that way I'm not overexerting, because 10 runs is about, like, what, 90 to 100 minutes? That's about an hour and change. And I think that's fair. That's what I normally go for anyway, an hour and change. 2 hours should really be my max, because I every time I've streamed for longer than 2 hours, I, like, the 2 hour onwards mark, I just, like, stop being a person. I just, like, kind of do nothing. If I get an audience base, ever, which I won't, but if I ever do, maybe I could stream for longer, because then I'll have more engagement, but I'm not trying to be that person who's like, hi, hello, today we're gonna be streaming. Oh my god, this enemy is going to kill me. You know, I don't want to be that person, so fuck it. I hope someone joined as I was doing that, and like thought that was my stream. I really hope that happened. I really do. This is a very good game to zone out to, if nothing else. Like, once you get to a certain level, it's just very easy to mindlessly kill shit. I was actually... This wasn't recently, but I did read this one GameFAQs thread about a guy who would just stream his attempts at getting the SJS rather, not G, but and I'm trying to remember what he ended on. Like, he eventually did get it, but it took him like at least 2 years of consistent streaming, and I don't remember what number he ended on, but I want to say it was like 10,000 over, like as in like over 10,000. So, yeah. I think he was also doing it on a quest. Because if I remember correctly, his rate for doing it was pretty, like, fast. Like, I think he was doing the... I don't think he was doing East Tower. I think he was doing, like, Towards the Future or whatever quest. Because there's another one where you can get 5 geek use pretty quickly. I don't remember it exactly, though. I should probably research it now that I think about it. I think it's an online-only quest, if I recall correctly, but if it's on PSO Plus, which I doubt, but if it is, I can do it. Then again, I would have to beat the East Tower, and that would just drain my soul through my fingertips. I don't know. I don't know. Howdy, Casey. You've missed thrilling times at Ridgemont High. Waiting for tacos, huh? Well, enjoy. I actually have a local taco place that makes like really good tacos, but like in the sense that they will give you a heart attack if you eat them for like more than once a week at most. Like I think if you have like two of their tacos in 1 week, you will die because they're that salty and cholesterol-y or greasy. I don't know. They're good though. They taste delicious. That's the problem with like unhealthy shit, is it tastes good. I'm saying something very controversial when I say that, but I do wonder, like, oh, these, I don't know, they're like, I think they're supposed to be like plants that give off spores, because they poison you if you go near them, but they just look like lumps of flesh. You know how like Weedle is supposed to be like a hairy bug? Like that's its entry in the Pokédex? That's what it looked like. They look like balls of like Weedle. Like the balls that connect Weedle, like the fleshy lumps. That's what they look like to me. Fuck. Oh, that worked out well. Cool. That was actually pretty quick, all things considered. There it is. Yeah, I think they are. I think Weedles are supposed to be hairy. Like, I think that they're supposed to be, like, if I'm, okay, quote me on this, because I'm pretty sure. I think Weedle's entry in, like, the Pokedex is called, like, the hairy bug Pokemon. I'm pretty sure. But my entire life, I've only seen, like, I've only seen it as just, like, flesh. You know, like Wiggler, you know? That's how I see it. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's where I'm at. It's very strange. Like, I'm sure there was a better proof of concept for that, but it just did not translate well in, like, the sprites, I guess. Hair is weird in general. Like, it's difficult to draw. Especially when you're on, like, the Game Boy Color. Oh, hey, new career. You get to watch the really thrilling and exciting stream that is, I just do this thing that takes only, like, 10 minutes, and I do it over and over again until I get bored. I love to play video games that are 2 decades old. Oh my god, this game is 2 decades old. In other news, I did finally stop playing Phantasy Star Online 2. Once you miss one day, it's like, okay, I can stop playing forever now. I don't know. I like PSO 2, but after a while, I just was like playing it like a job, you know? Everyone who plays an MMO, I think, reaches that point where it's like, you're not even playing because you want to, you're playing because it's like, it's too integral to your routine. Yeah, that's really what it is. Once you miss one day, it's like, that's exactly what it's like with Animal Crossing too. Like, you miss one day and it's like, okay, I missed the money rock, I got some weeds, I can quit now. You know? Like, that's always what happens whenever I try to play Animal Crossing in both. Like, oh, you just got audio. How is my audio, by the way? Is anything too loud? I assume it's not because it's like the same audio settings as last time, but Oh no, yeah, Animal Crossing is kind of one of those games that operates on your sense of like, if you don't play, then these fictional AIs are going to be upset and miss you. But it's like, I don't know. I play my. Here's how I am with Animal Crossing. I like get into a mood where I'm like, okay, finally I'm going to do everything in Animal Crossing. I'm gonna make it my part of my routine. I'm gonna do it for like a year so I get all the seasonal shit, and I last like a month. You know, like, and it's a very productive month. I get a lot of money, I do a lot of shit, but then just like, I burn out. It's gotten released with some of the more recent games. You feel like it completely revolved. Yeah, that's making you mayor and whatnot. Like, I haven't played any of the recent Animal Crossings. Like, I've only played the GameCube and Wild World, but that is one thing that sort of came to mind. Like, it does kind of feel like it doesn't feel like characters in that game, from what I've seen, have their own lives anymore. Because I really liked how sometimes you could just walk up to characters and they'd be having conversations with each other, or like, I mean, I'm sure that still exists in the game, but you know, now everyone always is like, oh, you're the mayor of blah blah blah. I don't know, maybe my opinion would change if I actually played them, but I don't feel like it. Because I'm still of the opinion that if you played the first game, you probably played the other ones, based on my 2-game exposure to the series, which is extremely comprehensive, I know, but I do kind of dislike in general the idea of like video games where like your character is the most important one. Like, sometimes I just want to be a side character, you know? Like, sometimes I want to watch other characters do shit, you know? Like I enjoy sometimes when you're just a spectator. Like, you're the Vaughn of Final Fantasy XII. I'm the only person on Earth who likes Final Fantasy XII anymore. Honestly, to cope with my villager, I have to see them as like fully developed new ones. People who necessarily must have other things. Yeah, that's a good way to do it, cause like it's like it's like if you played The Sims and The Sims was like, oh, you didn't play today? Well, your Sim shit himself. Are you happy? Or like, oh, The Sims, like that family you were raising, they starved to death because you didn't tell them to eat. Like that's. It's manipulative almost, and it's like, I'm not like saying manipulative in like the abusive way, but just like manipulative in like you feel obligated to play, and it works, but it's just like, that's not for me, you know? Like, you miss one day and you're free. that's what it feels like. I don't know. I like Animal Crossing a lot more in concept than I do in execution, and I've said it before, but I do kind of wish Animal Crossing had never taken off. That sounds bad, but like, I really enjoy it as this niche game that had like its own little appeal. But I don't like it when they tried to make it into like this mainstay, you know? Like I feel like that kind of like, I'm trying to think how to phrase it. It like, I guess it like edges off all the unique parts, you know, like, I know what I'm thinking, I just don't know how to express it. Like, it's so unique, but once you do it enough, and like over and over, eventually you sort of just like get watered down to it, I guess. I've been on a kick, but it's so hard to keep up sometimes. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, sometimes you just don't want to do it, and it's like, you shouldn't have to feel like if you miss a day, you miss out on a lot, you know? Oh yeah, mainstream appeal is why cranky villagers aren't me anymore, exactly. There was so much, like, I love cranky villagers, because, like, they're so mean sometimes, but then, like, when they act nice to you, it feels earned, you know? Like, okay, you talked to me for, like, 20 weeks in a row, I'm gonna finally say something nice about you and how you're my friend. Like, that feels cool, you know? Like, instead of it just being, like, instantly, like, everyone's really nice to you. And I mean, there's an appeal to that, like, everyone being super cool and nice, but I don't know. I think the focus on aesthetic town building has done a lot of damage to the general character. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, it's sort of a double-edged sword, where, like, there were a lot of, like, considerations, like, oh, can you move villagers' houses? Can you know, change the layout of the map? Like, that's cool, but at the same time, it almost becomes like a different game at that point, you know? Like, because when I think of Animal Crossing, I don't really think of it as a management game, and that's what it sort of became. In the new game, they're literally just old country sounding. That's, I don't think that's necessarily bad, but I definitely prefer if they're mean. People with cottagecore towns drive me insane. Cottagecore towns, it's so gross. Also, I hate how much of the furniture looks like Fisher-Price toys and the crafting system. Yeah, like, it really does sort of feel like Animal Crossing kind of got, like, it suffered the mainstream video game trend, I guess. And again, I'm saying all this without having touched any Animal Crossing game past Wild World. I've seen people talk about it so much, and I've seen so much, like, videos and screenshots of the game that it's almost like I have this cultural osmosis opinion at this point. Like, it's it's difficult to avoid, because, like, there was that period in, like, 2019 where everyone and their dog was hyping it up. Also, I didn't get the drop, sad day. But, you know, like, everyone was talking about how excited they were for it, and then, like, the second New Horizons came out, this makes me feel really bad, but, like, it was very precipitously a drop in people talking about it, because they were just playing it nonstop, and then, like, when people did talk about it, they're like, oh, I don't really like this feature, or, oh, it's kind of, there should be more content. Town building is good in moderation, but people put so many items out of it, makes the game run 20 frames per second, and it's like, what's the point of even playing? Yeah, that's... It's weird. It's like... Yeah, Tumblr was fucking insane for New Horizons. Animal Crossing is a really difficult game to design, so I can't necessarily begrudge whoever the developer was. I think it's what? Is it HAL? Or is it just directly from Nintendo? I don't remember anymore. Not that I probably ever knew, but like it's a really difficult game, I think, if you're going to try and make it like a consistent big thing, you know? So I can't begrudge them for that. I feel like the town building customization is great in theory, but they were very surface level with some of it. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I got from what I saw too. Trying to place houses and whatnot is a pain. Gross. And it's first party Nintendo, then yeah. Like, a lot of the time, I feel like you can easily place the blame on developers for, like... Or, not developers, publishers for putting restrictions on what a game can and can't be. But here, because it's first-party Nintendo, it's more just a conceptual thing. It's like, what can you really do with Animal Crossing? I agree, like, the way the buildings cost 50k. 50k bills? Oh. I mean, if I recall correctly, isn't there, like, some super easy way to get money in that game? I think it's like, what, hunting tarantulas, but... Or maybe it's not that it was easy, but just like, it's consistent, but... You put a new house in the wrong spot by like 1 row. Oh god. You gotta pay 50k. God. 50k is like 5 days in Animal Crossing GameCube. God. This is definitely a product of, like, I just grew up with it, so therefore I wish everything was like the way it was when I grew up. But I really do miss how, like, many weird games could exist on... Okay, fuck. I'm gonna die. Here, I'm just gonna do this. Oh, they're out of the way? Cool. Anyway, as I was saying, I miss how many, like, unique and weird games could exist in the GameCube and PS2 era without needing to, like, conform to big industry trends or, like, having to be, like, the first in a series of, like, you know what I mean? Like, there were a lot of weirder games back then. I mean, there's still weird games, obviously, but, like, a lot of them have to be indie now, because big developers and publishers just won't do it, because it's, you have to have a hit now. It was such a GameCube game, like, they did so much fun stuff on the GameCube that I've never... Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, they did a lot of weird stuff with even, like, Mario. Like, Super Mario Sunshine was a very weird game. And I mean that in a very affectionate and, like, loving way. Even big IPs on the GameCube felt great and were different. Yeah, that's... Like, Nintendo IPs, I generally don't care about warm me up. Yeah, again, that's, like... I'm trying to think off the top of my head right now. When I think of GameCube, like, one of the first games I think of is Metroid Prime. And, like... I'm not necessarily gonna say Metroid Prime is a huge departure for the Metroid series, but like, I guess it's very interesting to me. And Sunshine sticks out like a sore thumb in 3D series, but it looks so good. I love Sunshine. I hated it as a kid, but now as an adult, I'm like, holy shit, this is so cool. Like, as a kid, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Why is Bowser in a bathtub? Why, you know, like, why doesn't it matter what oh, god damn it. Fuck. Okay. I wasn't paying enough attention. Anyway, I was very annoyed with some of the game mechanics in Sunshine, but now as an adult, I'm like, this is really weird for a fucking mainline Mario game. Especially one so close to the launch of the GameCube. And then, like, you have Pikmin for the GameCube. Like, who the fuck would have thought of Pikmin? And then Pikmin 2 happened. I don't wanna start my Pikmin 2. my Pikmin 2 bias, but oh yeah, Luigi's Mansion! I don't even really like Luigi's Mansion as a game. I like it way more as a concept, because it's so weird. Like, a horror-themed Mario game? It's not even really horror, more just like, I don't know. I haven't played it, but the game with the plug outlet. Oh, Chibi Robo, I think is what you're talking about. N64 almost felt like an experimental console. 3D Mario and Zelda came into their own. Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh yeah, Pokemon Coliseum, I am a Pokemon Coliseum defender. Like, I defend that game to death, because it was so... It's before Pokemon really became, like, so... It has to be this, it has to be that, you know? Yeah, Pokemon Coliseum's never gonna have another morally ambiguous main character ever again. I feel very confident in saying that, because, like... I still wish we got the Pokemon XD, where Wes was actually the final villain, like they were intending for... But, I'm pretty sure Nintendo, or... I don't know if it was Nintendo or if it was just a budgetary thing or something. But, that got canned. But I really wish it had happened, because that would have been so cool. It's very disappointing now, what... I don't know, yeah, Coliseum did do away with, like, a lot of conventions. You can't catch wild Pokemon. There's only one gym, and it's entirely optional. Your Pokemon start out at, like, early 20s. And, oh, yeah, it was nice talking to you, too. I'll talk to you later. But, yeah, Coliseum did a lot of stuff that was just unconventional. I think I've said this before, but, it had a limited Pokemon pool, and... That just in and of itself to me is a really cool idea. Because, like, you have Pokemon like fucking Stantler as options. Like, who's gonna use Stantler in Pokemon Gold? No one, basically. But then when you have Coliseum, Stantler's, like, probably still not gonna get used, but, you know, people will, like, consider it, I guess. I don't know. I think it's also one of the more interesting takes on, like, Evil Crime Syndicate. Because Pokemon games that do, like, the evil team, they always feel very, like, outside of, like, maybe Black and White, the teams feel very, like, you know, whatever, bumbling doofuses. So, when you have, like, Pokemon Coliseum, where the team actually is, like, fairly clandestine, and organized, and is able to, like, fucking subjugate Pokemon, you know, that's very interesting in a way. Like, it's not necessarily the greatest storytelling ever or whatever, but it's very interesting to me. I appreciate it a lot just in the sense of, like, this is something you would never see Pokemon do ever again, you know? That's how I feel. Please die. Oh my god. No. Okay. Pokemon's like another bag of worms, really. Like, if you want to talk about series, I don't know how you say it, series with apostrophe. If you want to talk about series that really got ruined by having to be, I guess just like consistent blockbusters, then Pokemon's the one that comes to mind. Like Pokemon was big from the inception, so don't get me wrong. But I think, like, having it be, oh, every year there has to be a new Pokemon game. Every Pokemon game has to have new mechanics. Every Pokemon game has to be XYZ, you know, 1, 2, 3, this, that. It's just like, that really has made it for the worse, I feel. But that's neither here nor there. Pokemon is what it is now, unfortunately. I still haven't played Sword and Shield, and I'm probably never going to unless I start dating someone who has a Switch. The way this whole conversation comes down to the core of me being disillusioned with AAA game. That's literally what it is! Like, it's so difficult to say. Like, I mentioned it earlier, but it really does feel like I'm at one level of me is saying everything now is bad. You know, like everything that is now is I'm in my 20s, everything's bad. But like at the same time, I look back objectively and I go, there was so much cool shit going on when I was growing up. Why is everything so lame now? You know, like I still stand by saying that the PS4, Xbox One, Switch generation of games was probably the most disappointing for me. I feel like it's been on a gradual decline ever since the PS2. Like, I like the PS3, so I don't mean that in a bad way for that generation, but PS4 I definitely feel was a step down from PS3, 360, Wii, etc. I think a lot of it also comes from the fact that every game has to have a remaster now, or a remake, or like, instead of, you know, like being interesting. I don't think I have any non-indie games I've slotted in my top XX games list beyond 360 blah 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 era. I obviously have some games that I like beyond that, but literally the only game I can think of that, like the only games that I can think of right now off the top of my head are Danganronpa V3. God, I wish I'd never played that game so I could retain my never played Danganronpa's credit. That and Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age, but really that's more like a PS2 game. It's because I would have rated the PS2 game that highly too. I like Zodiac Age more, but you know, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other games. Like Persona 5 is the only other game that comes to mind, and even then, that's like, I would say in the 30s, maybe 40s of my top whatever list. I think off the top of my head. And Persona 5 has so many issues. A lot of it just comes from me playing it and enjoying it and having a great time with it, rather than me being able to sell it as the perfect, like, experience ever. I'm trying to think. If Prey had gotten, like, another 6 months of development time, that game would have been, like, fucking great. God, I wish we had gotten just a little bit more time in the oven for that game. Prey was so cool. It's a shame that it just doesn't have a finished ending. As I like to call it, the Chrono Cross effect. Prey V3 and the Evil Within. Oh yeah, Evil Within I might try eventually, but probably not. I like how I said that. I might try it, but definitely won't. I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like I have a lot more favorites in the PS3 generation. Like, unfortunately, like Dragon Age Origins, and, Demon Souls, fucking, No More Heroes. I'm trying to think of other games. I know there's some. Oh, Catherine. God, I am bad at thinking of shit off the top of my head right now. What else? Oh, Final Fantasy 13, clearly. And yeah, I've heard Evil Within is kind of awful for trophy hunting. If I recall correctly, doesn't it have like a, if you die once, you have to start over entirely mode or something? I feel like every modern horror game has one of those modes now. I think the PS3 generation was the last time I liked any first-party type stuff from Sony, Nintendo, Xbox. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what first-party Sony games that I've played on the PS4, but I don't think I've played that many. I don't think it has a die and start over, but Akuma's a one-hit. Oh, that's... okay. That's... I don't know if that's better or not. Like, I guess that is better by default. I think I'm thinking of Dead Space 2 with the if you die once, you have to start over from the beginning. I would probably take Akumu then over that. Enemy fails on the floor while you're dying. Yeah. I mean, as long as there's checkpoints, I would be able to suffer through it. I would just probably hate life, but Dead Space 2 is going to be like, that's going to be the one that really pushes me to my limits, I think. I can't wait until I'm healthy again as a person and not trophy hunting. Oh my god, what a fucking travesty it would be to not be trophy hunting for once in my life. Who was I before I was a booster? Who the fuck was I? I don't even remember what it's like to play games and not be hunting for things. It just has the death requirement. Okay, that's good to know. I don't even know if I'm ever gonna play Dead Space within this like fucking century at this rate, but I think I read it's closer to normal to the difficulty. You just have to worry about being sick. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. Just play the first one. Well, I've heard many things about the Dead Space series. I don't even know specifics. I know like about that one scene with the eye gore, because everyone and their dog always talks about it, and I know that like the first one ends on a cliffhanger or whatever, and that's basically it. I know. Oh, and the third one is obviously, I know that one's dog shit, but I heard that's EA's fault because they like wanted to make another. Like, they wanted to make Resident Evil 4 out of Dead Space 3 and couldn't, so. God, Resident Evil 4 did such damage to the industry. I don't think we can really undo and unpack all the fucking harm that game has brought to the world. I say this as someone who likes that game. I like Resident Evil 4, but goddamn if that game didn't just fucking ruin things for a bit. Oh well. I mean, what can you do? Sometimes a good game exists and everyone's just like, let's make that 20 times. Let's make everything into that. Don't confuse me. Thank you. Thanks for not confusing me, Geek. Man, this whole conversation about like the current state of gaming, it's kind of like sad in a very profound way for me. Like, maybe not like sad as in like I'm gonna like feel very empty and cry about it, but it's very like, oh man, this is life now. You know? It's wild because just like how the RE series tried to iterate on RE4 with RE5 and 6 being better than 4 for me. I heard a lot of people hated 6, and I know that that's a game that exists. That's basically all I know about it. Made horror as a genre in games so bleak. I haven't played Amnesia. At this point, I am almost like dreading when I do, because Amnesia just like, I don't know. I'm sure it's good by itself, but I just don't want to even. I don't know. 5 pretty much plays like 4 with a co-op framing. Fair. I heard horror stories about the AI in 5. 6 has a ton of mobility and melee combat with counters and whatnot. Interesting. Interesting. I almost recreated my character. That would have been funny. That would have been very funny. The Resident Evil series is really fucking bizarre. I'm not saying anything new when I say that, but it is. The campaign makes pretty much no use of the game, doesn't teach you any of the complex game systems. Yeah, that sounds about on brand for a game that originally was a niche that ended up becoming mainstreamed. Smack bar and pay wet. A ton of Cliff Notes online. Oh my god, it's a game with research, but like once you know how it works, it's highly satisfying. I'm willing to put in the effort to learn a game to an extent. To an extent. I don't know. I feel like I would have been more invested in learning a game if I was younger. But now as an adult, I'm kind of like, if you don't explain things to me, how the fuck am I supposed to know? Like, when I played No More Heroes as a kid, I figured out dark stepping on my own. I was like, holy shit, this is so cool, blah, blah, blah. And if I played No More Heroes for the first time as an adult, I probably would have been like, why the fuck doesn't this game tell you about dark stepping at all? I'm willing to put in time if I have a surface level investment interest, but my level of patience is much less compared to... Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like, I played Devil May Cry like 2 or 3 years ago, and I enjoyed it a lot, but at the same time, I got very frustrated with it. Because, like, god damn does that game just, like... I'm trying to think how to put it. Like... I'm thinking. It's very difficult to get the hang of. And there's a lot of stuff that it feels like you kind of just have to know from someone telling you online, or like hearing about it rather than like figuring it out. I love the first Devil May Cry to play casually, but I bounced off of 3. Doing Dante Must Die mode in Devil May Cry 1 legitimately made me enjoy the game less. Because I was really enjoying it until I got to that mode, and then I'm like, holy fuck, I hate this. I still enjoy it. I still gave it like a 4 out of 5, but I was gonna give it higher until Dante Must Die mode. I blamed trophy hunting. I probably would have never touched Dante Must Die mode if I hadn't had to get the trophy for it. Yeah, most difficulty modes do more damage than good. I would agree with that to an extent. I feel like difficulty is really, like, unironically, difficult to get right. Like, JRPGs do a kind of bad job with it too, because all they do is just adjust numbers rather than, like, alter enemy patterns or whatever. And I'm not saying, like, I would have the solution to it, because I don't fucking know what I would do. I do prefer when difficulty modes actually change the game in terms of, like enemy layouts, behaviors, item locations, that type of thing. Because it adds variety, and it's like you have to actually learn something. But then there's the flip side of like, okay, I have to learn an entirely new game at this point? Fuck that. It's like, it's difficult. I can only imagine the type of considerations you have to make if you're a game dev and you're like, how am I going to do this mode without alienating our player base, but also making it not terrible? I don't know, being a game dev sounds really fucking difficult. And even then, you probably, if you're a regular game dev, you probably only get to model, like, Kratos' ass or something. And then, like, the higher up makes the decision, you know? I'm trying to think now of, like, I'm legit trying to think of games with good difficulty modes that I enjoy. I guess The World Ends With You comes to mind, but that's more because you could just change your difficulty at any time, and difficulty primarily only affects what drops you get. Like, it'll affect, like, how strong an enemy is, but, like, it doesn't necessarily, like, lock you in. And really, the only reward you get is, like, okay, at this difficulty, this enemy drops this, but at a higher difficulty, it drops this, which is better. So, oh yeah, rhythm games. God, that reminds me of Guitar Hero. I wish I had been good at Guitar Hero. But yeah, that is kind of by design, the game. Like, it's one of those things where if you can't make a good difficulty mode for a rhythm game, you're kind of fucked. Yeah, you can't really just, like, do a slider. You have to, like, basically do a new thing entirely. Yeah, a step between hard and expert. I never even could get the hang of hard. Like, once they added... Like, I could do normal just fine, but once they added the, is it the 5th fret? I think, yeah, 5th. That's when I called it quits, because it's like, I can't reach the 5th fret with my pinky, and I'm just not good enough to do it. And I accept it. So normal is where I cap out, with Guitar Hero and Rock Band and shit. What other games? Oh, what's it called? Dishonored 2 was really cool in how it lets you change, like, individual things for, like, custom difficulty. I really like that. Because it's like, okay, I can make it so that way enemies are less perceptive, or they're more perceptive, but I don't have to change, like, how much, like, mana I use or whatever. I don't remember everything about that. Oh yeah, Silent Hill 2, duh. Yeah, the riddle difficulty was really fucking cool. Yeah, I really like that. Really, did you fucking paralyze me twice? You son of a bitch. Up yours. But yeah, that's a really cool thing. Action and easy where it belongs. Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely a good example. Since we're talking about difficulty in games, now it's time to talk about Dark Souls. Dark Souls is the best difficulty. I don't know. I actually remember I played Dark Souls for the first time because my friend kept talking about it, and he was like, "Oh my god, you Dark Souls, you gotta try it." I had known about Dark Souls casually from like its big popularity in like 2011, 2012 or whatever, and like my friend talking about it finally convinced me to try it, and I got it on Steam. And I remember telling him, yeah, this isn't that bad. And he got so mad at me. He was like, what the fuck do you mean it's not that bad? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I got through Sen's Castle. I didn't really die that much. He's like, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. Well, he didn't say fuck you, but he was like, really like, I think he thought I was lying to try and impress him. But it's like, Sen's Fortress isn't super difficult. I don't know why you died so much in it. Like, I died a few times, but I didn't fucking, you know, it wasn't like the end-all, be-all. I mean, to be fair, I did know about the hidden bonfire, which is kind of bullshit, but that was more because he told me than it was because, like, I cheated or whatever. I don't know. I'm sidetracking my own conversation with Dark Souls, ironically, and now doing it for real. Can't wait until I do Dark Souls with a fight stick. The Souls series. Honestly, you kind of don't need to. You really don't need to. I guess if you want to, you can. I don't know. I'm not crazy about the Souls series. I feel like if you play Demon Souls, you can just quit there and you're good. I'm a Demon Souls stan though, so don't listen to me. I won a copy of that in a giveaway, and I made it up to one of the forest sections. And it was mostly fine. Yeah, I think I know where you quit. You probably did like the gargoyles. And then that was like it, I think, from the sounds of it. Oh yeah, the gargoyles. Honestly, like, I think Dark Souls 1 is worth playing just because it's such a noteworthy game. And like, you know, it's one of those things where like you kind of get left out of conversations at a certain point if you don't play it, but I don't think it's as perfect as everyone says, which is now kind of like one of those takes. It's like everyone says that, but I don't know. The only games I've won in giveaways have been Dark Souls and BioShock Infinite. Wow. Just lose at that point. Like, you're better off. God, BioShock Infinite. At least you didn't win Dark Souls 2. I love to hate Dark Souls 2. It's such a fun game to say horrible things about. I hate Dark Souls 2. I enjoy saying bad things about it because it fucking sucks. I'm not actually going to talk too much about it because I don't want to fucking spend the next year of my life talking about how much I hate that game, but I do hate it. Honestly though, Casey, for like legitimately, all jokes aside, you should play Demon Souls before you revisit Dark Souls, just so that way you can see like the progression. Because I think Dark Souls and Demon Souls are good in their own ways, but I think Demon Souls really gets undercut because people play Dark Souls first, and they're like, oh man, Demon Souls was just the beta. And it's like, no, Demon Souls was kind of its own thing. Souls 2 feels wide because from my outsider perspective, it seems like they took what was bad in base Souls 2 and made it worse in the remaster ports. That's unironically what happened. Like, I'm not. You're 100% correct. That is what happened. They took everything bad about Dark Souls 1 and just made it more. Like, Dark Souls 1, fighting multiple enemies at once was really difficult. And that was intentional, so they didn't do it like... They had it pop up, but they didn't do it all the time. But now, like, every fucking enemy encounter in that game has multiple enemies. And it's like, oh... Did you like those bosses where the fucking hitboxes were really fucking annoying? Well, guess what? We made every boss have annoying hitboxes. Oh, Scholars of the First Sin. I haven't played the, Oh, that's what you mean. Oh, I haven't played the DLC for Dark Souls 2. Unironically, I saw that the DLC didn't have trophies in Dark Souls 2, and I was like, I'm never touching it. I do plan on eventually playing Scholars of the First Sin on PS4, because I do own it, unfortunately. But yeah. I've heard good things about the DLC, to be fair, but... eh. And yeah, I did hear that Scholars of the First Sin changed enemy spawns, which should liven things up, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know how to phrase this, but like I kind of feel like I'm either incredibly wrong or just not enjoying Bloodborne because I just don't get the appeal, and I really wish I did. Because that's like the one game I hear everyone universally agree is great. And it's just, I can't get into it. I really dislike it. I don't hate it, it's just like, so much of it just doesn't do anything for me. I really wish that like, it had just... I really wish that it either just like stuck with the goth Victorian theme instead of making it like cosmic horror halfway through. Or it'd just like double down on being a horror game, you know? If it was gonna be cosmic horror, because it feels very half-baked in that respect to me. I never finished it, to be fair, so I'm not committing to that opinion, and I do intend to like finish it and then probably do New Game Plus to see if my opinion stays the same. But I don't know. I really hate how blood vials work in that game, because it's like, oh, you can only heal with blood vials, which are a consumable which you have to collect, and you cap out at 20. Isn't that fun? Like, we took the worst part about Dark Souls 2 and maybe Demon Souls, and we made it worse. Isn't that fun? Like, no, fuck you. I mean, it's just frustrating. It's frustrating when games aren't what I want them to. Fuck you for paralyzing me. That one meme that's like, when the so-called free seekers talk about how Bloodborne is good. That's what it feels like for me. That's what Bloodborne feels like to me. It's like, y'all really went apeshit over this without any level of like dissension. How? Because I don't get it. Again, I'm holding that opinion as a potentially revocable one, but still. I'm gonna run out of mana fluids, and I just did. I was gonna say something and I just totally spaced on what it was. Shit, I totally forgot. Oh well. You know what game series they should reboot? Sly Cooper. Fucking bring back Sly Cooper. I'm not just saying that because I'm a furry, by the way. I'm saying that because Sly Cooper fucking died a horrible, horrible death. And I want that series to come back. At least just so that way Sly Cooper 4 isn't the last game in the series. If nothing else, I want it to at least have one more good game. Because goddamn, Sly Cooper 4 being the last game in the series is so fucking tragic. Like, ugh. I love talking about games and how everything I've ever played ever is actually bad. I enjoy that. Honestly though, I feel like you could make a Sly Cooper reboot. You didn't remember hating 4. Did you play it? I know you're implying you did, but... Yeah, the problem is that it just sucked. Like, Sly Cooper 4 just was like, okay, let's take what worked in Sly Cooper 2, and then just do it very poorly. Let's make the visual aesthetic look fucking ugly. Let's make all the characters just retread what they were, or, in the case of one of them, just completely backtrack everything that was established about them. BRB making a play. Enjoy your tacos, cunty. God, I just... And the disguises system in Sly Cooper 4, like, please. Fucking please. Just, it was so unnecessary and bad. I really wish I enjoyed Sly Cooper 4, but I just fucking... When I think of all my experiences with that game, I just go, awful. Terrible. Like, unironically, one of the worst games I've played. Just because of how fucking much of a failure it was on, like, every level for me. And I don't even, like, try to be that person. Like, I love Sticker Star, so I'm not even, like, I'm one of those people who's like, if this game isn't exactly what I want it to be, then it's shit. I don't know. Either way. Oh man, we got the drop, wow, we got the drop! 36! Yun! I should try to buy some mono fluids before I forget. Like, before I do the next thing. The next run. Okay. I'm thinking about other series now. Like, what other video game series have been bastardized? I don't know. I should try to find a game series I want to talk about that I actually like. I've avoided talking about Persona for the past, like, hour despite posting about it a bunch on Tumblr. So, that's a personal victory right there. I'm very tempted to now start talking about Persona, but okay. Oh, you're not selling fucking monofluids. I forgot that Ultimate does that. Ultimate, why are you this way? Why are you this way to me? I don't even really need monofluids. I just would like to have them because I want them. Whatever. It's fine. We'll survive. If we don't, we can laugh about it later. After all, at the end of the day, who cares? Spell Pharaoh. I'm gonna stop playing this game sporadically. Like, out of nowhere, something will happen and I'll just stop streaming it. And then I'll come back like a year or two later and I'll check what my auto chats were. And I'll see, who cares? Spell Pharaoh. And I'll bust up laughing. That's kind of how it was with Smack Bar and Pay Wet. Smack Bar and Pay Wet. Smack Bar and Pay Wet. That was a terrible attempt at an accent. That was like Cockney. Hey, monofluid. Howdy. Howdy. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing nothing exciting, so... I'm really good at advertising my streams, by the way. Someone new joins. Hey, welcome to the stream. This is terrible. Oh, look, there you are. No, it's not. Well, thank you for the compliment, kind stranger. I'm mostly joking. The whole thing about these streams is that they're meant to be kind of low effort. Because all I'm doing is just the same mission over and over again. And as much as I love my followers, I know that I'm putting them through a bit when I make them watch that, so. I should go back to doing what I was doing before, and I should have like a bunch of GIFs on my screen. To make it like visually appealing. I missed when I was doing that. That was fucking hilarious. I should actually add a GIF. I could add 12. 12 is a great GIF. I wish I should put it on everything I fucking post. I wish I had been a 12 main in Third Strike, but goddamn, just 12 just not that great. Just not that great. Just not do that much damage. This game seems very good. It's pretty good, yeah. I'm obsessed with it. Like, it's... I think obsessed is really an understatement, but yeah, it's 2 decades old. It's like a proto-MMO, basically. It was originally on the Dreamcast, and later got ported to the Xbox and GameCube. And, yeah, I just really love it. Oh, it also had a PC port. I mean, it's very interesting when you get down to like a lot of the elements of it in terms of narrative and just gameplay functions. I could probably talk your ear off about it, but that's neither here nor there. And I am on the spot, so I can't think of what to say about it. I don't know. This is a game that I played a shitload growing up when I was in middle school. Like, this is the game I would like stay up past midnight to play. Just you know, in my room, I would lose sleep to play this game. Cool. Feel free to subscribe, I guess. I mean no offense when I say this, but are you a bot? Because I don't recognize your username, and I don't know how you found this channel. Did you just like look at the Fantasy Star Online tag or something? Again, I don't mean any offense. Okay, can I kill these things without getting paralyzed this time? Because last time I got fucking double paralyzed and it was very... Okay. Well, I tried. I made the effort, really, and that's all that matters. I'm not a results-oriented person. I'm all about effort here. You've just been looking for games that only have one viewer. Yeah. Yeah, most of the time, the only person who ends up watching my streams is Casey, who she'll be back in a second, I think, but yeah. So I just stream this every Saturday for about an hour and a half or so, and I fuck around. Excuse me, stop paralyzing me, please. I would enjoy it greatly if you stopped that. I'm trying to stay near him so he doesn't do his, he doesn't do Gazande, which is the attack that paralyzes. Well, thank you, Invincibility Frames. I owe you a great deal. I'll leave until everything. Yeah, feel free. No pressure. I said before, but like this is kind of a repetitive stream. Like, so if you want to dip, that's fine. I appreciate the sub though. Thank you, and I hope you have a good one. Maybe Casey did have a heart attack from the tacos. Maybe me talking about heart attack tacos earlier manifested that. That's very morbid. I'm kidding. Not me. Oh my god. I swear to god. I swear to god, I didn't think... I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. I swear to God. I just... Okay, I need to just stop laughing, but it's difficult. Oh gosh. Oh golly. I remember before I listened to Charlie, I was like, oh man, I could never get into her. I could never get into her music. I could never take her accent seriously. Which is very funny in retrospect. I still maintain that Vroom Vroom is a very fucking funny song. Oh, okay, thanks for that. Thanks. Come on, baby. No, okay, alright. That's, yeah. Fluid, heal. This would probably be like 1,000 times more interesting if I could connect my GameCube to my, what's it called? My, modem. God, I forgot what modem was for a second. Forgot the word, but, I could go online at that point, but unfortunately, because it's not an apartment complex. I live in like a condo, but it's like kind of an apartment. Basically, we have like this like hotspot Wi-Fi, and our modem is installed into our wall, so we literally can't even like physically access it. So I can't even connect it if I wanted to, which sucks because I have all the materials to connect it. Like, I have the GameCube broadband adapter that you need to connect games online. This game, it's basically like, trying to think the most concise way I could describe it. It's basically an MMO, but it's offline. Well, I mean, you can play it online, but I'm playing it offline. You can pick one of like 12 different characters, and you're on this foreign planet that you're trying to God, why are words so difficult when I'm on the spot? You're on this planet that you're trying to colonize, basically, and it has no sentient species. It only has like wildlife, and you're trying to investigate what happened to the first ship that traveled there, that was trying to colonize it, basically. And yeah, it basically functions like a very prototypical MMO. Like, when this game launched, there were online servers for it, but, yeah, they went offline, because this game's 2 decades old. Is this my favorite game? This is my, second favorite game of all time. My first is Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, which, it's a game. It'd be kind of difficult to describe it if you don't already know about the SMT series, but yeah. This is definitely, like, this is definitely in contention for favorite game. I'll put it that way. The main thing I'm going for at this point is like these streams are like meant to be me hunting for a really, really rare drop that is difficult to obtain because it's like 1 out of like 12,000 chance, basically. Yeah. And cool, your favorite game is Minecraft? I've actually never played Minecraft, despite the fact that it's like the most popular game since Tic-Tac-Toe. I know I know it has its appeal, and I don't besmirch anyone or like, you know, anything like that for people who play it. I haven't really ever, you know, gotten interested in it, so I just haven't tried it. But I'm sure it's fun, and like, I know there's a lot of cool stuff you can do in it. Like, you can like make a lot of models. You can like do cityscapes with just blocks, or you can just dick around and like, you know, I'm trying to think of the words here. You can just play it normally, I guess. Like, when Minecraft came out, I remember seeing a lot of stuff about how like people would recreate like the Starship Enterprise in it, or like they would recreate like a picture of London down to the pixel with blocks in it, you know? So that's really what I think of when I think of Minecraft, because, like I said, with no personal exposure to it, that's what I go to. It also helps that, like, I've seen a million people stream it before, so it's like I kind of have a vague idea of what it's like already. Where the fuck is this enemy? There you are. So yeah, I think I got another 3 runs in me before I'll call it quits, because it's nice to do runs in intervals of 10, I feel. If nothing else, it would just give me a good excuse to stop at about an hour and a half. Who else is in this chat? I don't think there's many people in this chat, unfortunately. I think it's just you and Casey, who is Fat Yoshi 666. Casey's gonna say, like, not you naming me. Yeah. I had another person in here earlier, but she had to leave somewhat soon, I guess is the way I'd phrase that. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I don't average many viewers because I'm not trying to be like one of those streamers who, like, you know, overly puts themselves out there, like, hey, come watch me play. Like, I'll post it on my social media and then that's it. I don't try to be like, you know, come watch me and I'll play X, Y, or Z. It's like, no, I'm going to stream what I want to stream, and I don't super duper care if people watch it or not. I feel like that's a good way to handle streaming, because, like, in a certain way, I feel like streaming and YouTube in general have, like, made video games into this, like, totally monetized hobby. Which I know is very ironic considering I just started that Let's Play channel like literally last week or this week, but I don't know. It's, well, I didn't start it, but you know what I mean. Like, I started the Patreon. Like, it's very. I do kind of miss how it was before, like, you know, ad revenue and everything controlled how people would choose to stream and do videos of games. My uncle likes these types of games. Oh, okay, I'm assuming your uncle's a fan of, like, these types of games and probably, like, owned a Dreamcast at some point. Or maybe he just plays a lot of MMOs, I don't know. I don't want to, like, make any assumptions. This game was originally for the Dreamcast, which I still, to this day, would like to own one. I only ever played the Dreamcast on my brother's console. Oh, howdy! Tavern of Remembrance. I see someone in the chat likes Kingdom Hearts. I'm trying to focus on getting rid of this guy so he doesn't medget me by... No! Okay. I don't want him to medget me and kill me while I'm not paying attention, because that will happen if I don't kill him now. Honestly, though, I've mentioned this before in, like, one of my previous streams of this, but I really fucking hope that Sega delivers on that, like, interest survey for remaking or remastering this game. If only because it would give me finally an excuse to actually play this game online, considering online is literally in the title, and I have never played it online. It's almost like a bucket list thing at this point. I guess in theory I could download Blueburst and then, like, probably find a server there, but I don't want to do that. I've never played Blueburst and I frankly don't even acknowledge it exists anymore. Not even because I dislike it, but just because, like, I put so much time into the GameCube version that it's like if I had to start over, I would go insane. To be fair, I think doing this by itself is insane, so, you know, pick your poison. God, yeah, it'd probably be a good idea, or it wouldn't be a good idea to have a remake remaster of this game because if you compete with sequel, it'd be Red Sea. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed my time with Phantasy Star Online 2. I put like, I want to say 350-ish hours into that before I finally got burnt out. But it's very different, and different in a way that I don't like, which is not a bad thing for the series, but it's just like, it's not what I want. Which I went into it not like expecting, okay, the sequel, I'm probably going to have undue and high expectations of it, so yeah, that's basically how I feel. It was fun, but it wasn't. I hate to sidetrack. God damn, I wish you'd put your shield down. But yeah. Like, it was, it didn't feel like PSO as I knew it. And, yeah, basically, PSO in name only. It was very, very... I hate to describe things in this way, but I can't think of a better way to describe it right now. It felt very anime, you know, like, the story just didn't appeal to me either. And I never even got past episode 1, just because I would try to play the story, and holy shit, I'd be bored out of my mind. How long have you been playing this for? I've been playing this game since middle school, and I'm 26, so, oh my god, I'm a fucking fossil. I'm thinking right now. I'd say, like, I've been playing since, when I was 12 or 13, and I'm 26, so, oh my god, that's half my... I'm gonna scream, that's half my life. I just... Oh my god, that's half my fucking life. 13 years ago was half my life. Oh no. I'm sorry, I'm having an I'm old moment, as I regularly have these days. I don't know. I'm thinking more about Phantasy Star Online 2 and like... God. Also, you said you never touched the Dreamcast version. You should totally do it sometime. The original version 2 was ported on PC. Yeah, I've been... That's one of the things I actually would love to try. The problem is that I don't own a Dreamcast, and... It's not even that Dreamcast would probably be expensive to buy. I'm sure, like, there's a very affordable, like, market for Dreamcasts, considering what I'm willing to put money on. Honestly, it's just more like, the thing is, like, once I start collecting a Dreamcast and collecting games for it, I'm gonna turn into that person who, like, okay, I need to get this game, I need to get this game, I need to get this game, you know? It's like, it's gonna be a slippery slope. Oh, they're not all, yeah. See, another problem is I would probably get anal retentive, and I'll be like, I should get a Dreamcast that's fucking factory sealed, because what if the one I get is used and in bad condition? Instead of returning it, I'd be stuck with it. I have a dumb brain sometimes. It costs more getting something like a Dreamcast to get console online than actual complete console. Yeah, that sounds about right. It is kind of funny though. I like. I'm trying to think what I want to say here. The Dreamcast is like the system I would watch my older brother play, and I would like. I was always enamored with, but I never actually had my own. I think that's really weird and funny. Like, I wish we lived in a world where fucking Dreamcast won over, like, the fucking N64 or something. I think Sega really did some interesting and weird stuff with it, and I really would love to have seen where that took them. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. It also helps that, like, if I do play this game on Dreamcast, that would, definitely make it so the wear and tear on my GameCube's disc reader doesn't get totally mangled, because I do have a fear of that happening. I don't know. I say that like I don't pipe. God. I still remember when I was hunting for Cincesta. I can't believe I actually did that and didn't, like, go insane. Sega was doomed from the start on top of all the dumb decisions higher up made. Yeah, it's really tragic. Because I would pay so much money to live in the universe where they won. But, you know, what can you do? I am glad that, like, I guess if the Dreamcast was gonna fail, at least a lot of the games that I loved from the Dreamcast, like this and Sonic Adventure 2, got ported to the GameCube. Because I played them a shitload on my GameCube, but I didn't have a Dreamcast, so I can only imagine, like, if the Dreamcast had never won, maybe I would have never even gotten the chance to play them, you know? It's weird. And the PS2 did just kind of, like, fucking obliterate everything after a certain point, so. Either way, I would love to play this game online, if only because it would make hunting for SJS actually, like, feasible to do within the next 20 years. I'll be hunting this game until I'm, like, decrepit in a senior home, so, like, in May. I love making jokes about how I'm old. They don't at all actually soften the blow, but they're fun. I was gonna say something about PSO 2. Oh yeah, I miss section IDs. I really do. That sounds probably a little insane to say, but I do actually kind of miss them a bit. I'm assuming that, yeah, that's the counter I've been keeping for a while now, of like how many EPUs I've killed. I don't know, I don't remember exactly when I started doing these runs. I only started recently streaming these runs again, like 3 weeks ago, but I started keeping track of these runs. I want to say like maybe 2019, and I just get in moods where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going now. You know, I'm gonna start doing these runs again. I have no illusions about getting this, but at the same time, if I'm going to do runs of it, I want to at least do it on stream, if only because like, because it would be really funny to be like, okay, I got this item that's incredibly rare, and I got it on stream with my genuine and authentic reaction, you know, which is kind of a silly reason in retrospect, but meh. It's also just nice sometimes to stream and you know, do something that's relatively mindless, easy. The sad part is, once I do get SJS, I'm gonna be like, oh man, I finally got it. Okay, now I need to hunt for Black King Bar and standstill shoot. I'm just gonna be like, next on the list is. But, yeah, that's a future problem if it ever exists. Yeah, basically the cycle begins again. I don't know if I'll ever reach a point where I'm like, okay, I'm done with this game, because like I regularly get like yearly impulses to play this game in bulk. Like it's a game that I don't think I'll ever be able to get tired of, for better or worse. No. Okay. That guy was like playing interference. Are you gonna... Okay. I actually did recently... Well, not recently, but like... I did consider the idea of doing an all-items run that you could get offline, but then I realized that that would be, like, actually demented to do. But it's still tempting. Like, I was also thinking about, like, doing an all-shiny Pokemon run for Pokemon, but that's also demented, you know? And I don't know if anyone does that. I don't think anyone has, but I would be the first. Maybe not the first. I'm sure someone's probably gotten all the items in this game before. I don't know. I watched speedruns of this game, and I considered speedrunning it, but then I was like, I wouldn't want to do that. If I'm gonna speedrun a game, I'd rather speedrun like No More Heroes again. When I miss when I was a No More Heroes speedrunner for a hot minute. I really wish you could buy monofluids on Ultimate, but they just never show up. Oh well. As they say, who cares? Spell Pharaoh. That joke's never gonna stop being funny to me, and I really wish it would, because it's dumb. Man, I've been doing episode 1 on DCV2, now seeing episode 2 stuff feels a bit weird. Oh, that's a shame. I love episode 2. Episode 2 is honestly... I way vastly prefer episode 2 to episode 1. I mean, episode 1's good, so don't get me wrong. I love episode 1 as much as the next person, but I love episode 2. Have I played Phantasy Star Universe? Yes. I did actually end up playing Phantasy Star Universe online. Universe is kind of a different, like, game altogether, but I do enjoy it. It's you hated it so much. I can't necessarily blame you. It's a kind of messy game. Like, I enjoy it for what it is. When I went into it, I also didn't have the expectations that it would be the new Phantasy Star Online, but I did kind of hope it would be. It's you know, for what it is, I enjoy it. It's what I consider PSO 2. Honestly, that's probably more. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I think Fantasy Star Universe is more of a PSO 2 than PSO 2 is in a weird way. Because PSO 2 does kind of feel like it's its own entity at this point, you know? Like, it almost feels like it's a different MMORPG that they just skinned with the PSO name. Which isn't an entirely bad thing, but it plays so differently that it's very... Yeah, that would make sense. It also helps that I think PSU, like, has a pretty decently good OST. And I don't think PSO2 does, unfortunately. Which is more fuel to my, like, it's not a PSO game theory, but... Because, like, when I play PSO2, I'm like, man, I can't wait to see what they did with the soundtrack, because I love PSO's soundtrack, and PSU was pretty good, too. And then PSO2, like, nothing has stuck with me. You know, like... And that's not to say it's a bad soundtrack, but it's like, eh. Most of the songs I like from that are just PSO soundtracks that they put in, like the Halloween theme. God, is it Weird Night? I think it's Weird Night. Oh yeah, I've rarely seen anyone talk about PSOs and PSUs. Hey, I leveled up OST, and they're both sounding. Yeah, I love the PSO's OST, and PSU's is really good too. I still regularly listen to them. Soundtracks in MMOs, RPGs, and other time-seeking games are essential. Yeah, they really, really are. Because, like, if you're gonna hear, like, an area's theme over and over again, you really need it to be something that's gonna be good. Like, I love how PSO has dynamic music themes, so that way it doesn't really feel like the loops are ever, I'm trying to think of the word. Like, they're not, repetitive. Because, like, sometimes you'll get an action part of the song, or sometimes you'll get the ambient, excuse me, version. Recently found out about episode 1 to premium arrange. Oh, there's an arrange? I didn't know that existed. Oh man, I need to look into that. I had no fucking idea that existed. Wow. That's like high on my to-do list now. Yoko Shimomura. Oh, that's so cool. Wow, how did I not know about this? I'm a little astonished. I only just found out. Maybe it just recently happened or something, but either way. Can you stop paralyzing me, by the way? I would love it so much. Please, thank you. Okay, I'll take being slowed over paralyzed. Oh, it's a pretty old thing that I just... Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm surprised. I've been, like, a lurker on so many PSO forums, and I've never heard of an Arrange album. Like, wow. It's funny, like, the stuff that'll slip through the cracks, even for, like people who spend all their free time on it. I'm surprised that Medja didn't kill me. I'm glad it didn't. I still need to finish episode 3 now that I'm thinking about it, because I remember I played that game forever ago, and I never finished it. I feel like this game might be documented, but there's still like this. Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I still remember. Okay, well, I wasn't like on the internet at this time, but I remember like I was reading about SJS, and I like reading the progression of time, and like seeing people go like, okay, so how do you can you unseal it, blah blah blah, or like, and people were convinced that it was like an online event only thing, or and, like they didn't know how to unseal SJS, and then eventually someone found out you have to get like an insane amount of kills, like 70,000 I think. And it's like, that's so interesting to me that like it was this big secret that people had to figure out. It's interesting, like there were a lot of games from this time, like the turn of the millennium, had this weird like aura about them where it's like, it feels like there's always some secret around the corner, like I guess the game I'm thinking about when I think of something like that is like Banjo-Kazooie and Stop and Swap. How they really hyped that up, and it was like, you know, what is Stop and Swap? Blah blah blah. You can do this, and that. And then like everyone was like looking for clues about it and like secrets, and you know, you could like, I don't know if it was like cheat codes or Game Shark or whatever, but you could like get the colored eggs in Banjo-Kazooie. And then unfortunately you find out in Banjo-Tooie it just unlocks like some very minor like multiplayer stuff, but still, it was a moment in time, if nothing else. Please stop following me. Thanks. Okay, I'm just gonna take the damage. Okay, I thought that would kill you, but I guess it didn't. Makes me wonder what it'd be like if Nintendo didn't make the N64 revision. Yeah, that is interesting. Like if the N64 DD had actually come out and been a thing, you know. I was talking about this earlier with Casey, but it really is kind of difficult to like separate the whole, like when you're like thinking that video games have taken this really weird turn recently and how everything was better in like the early to mid 2000s, you know. It's very difficult to not have that feeling, because it's like, I consciously acknowledge that it's probably just me being nostalgic, but there's genuinely a lot of interesting stuff that happened back in the day, and I feel like a lot of games have lost that magic to some degree. And I mean, some still keep it, don't get me wrong, but like, it's definitely a feeling I've had for a while now. I said I was gonna stop earlier, but I figured fuck it. Might as well keep going, because that's my elaborate explanation. Even as someone who shouldn't be nostalgic for this stuff, it's incredibly fascinating and stuff. Yeah, that's basically where I'm at. Like, I missed the boat on playing this on launch because like I said, I never had a DC. But you know, it still fascinates me as someone who like enjoys the game and enjoys the history of it. And I mean, correct me if I'm mistaken, but isn't this like one of the first really big console MMOs that ever existed? So we were into late 90s, early 2000s archaeology. Yeah. Yeah, basically, like, you know, some people have put it that it's very interesting to see what the internet and things that were interacted with the internet and video games in general were before, you know, everything became hyper designed into being, you know, Web 2.0, basically. I'm trying to think of better ways to phrase it, but Web 2.0 is basically like the idea. It was the first console MMO on PC, period. Yeah. I mean, I know that. I'm just saying, like, first general, like, console MMO ever. I don't know of any other console MMO that came out before it. There might have been some that I just didn't know about. I'm not gonna say it's, like, the first MMO ever, because I think that's demonstrably false. But, you know, like, I think in terms of, like, I can't think of any MMOs that were on, like, any other consoles at the time. Or that came before it. So I should get out my chainsaw. Please. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I was gonna kill them, but that's fine. Do you mind? Excuse me. It's funny, the only thing about PSO 2 that I really think they improved on with compared to PSO 1 is that they actually made text fun to use. I don't dislike using text in this game, but they're so much more fun to use in PSO 2. Like, I really, really, really wish being a force was more interesting in this game, because in PSO 2 you actually have weapons you can hunt. You can actually use more than just like 3 different techs. But then in this game it's like, if you're a force, that's cool, but you also lose out on a lot of the fun of hunting. It also doesn't help that technique discs are kind of a bitch to get at higher levels, but, you know, that's just a thing. Honestly though, like, if you could hunt weapons for forces in this game besides just like Psycho 1 and like maybe some other ones off the top of my head, I would probably main a force, because I was definitely a force main in PSO 2, just because it was so much more fun. Because I tried doing some of the other classes, and I was like, this is alright, but then I hit force and I'm like, holy shit, this is like actually having fun. I'm playing the game actually here. Just zigzagging now because I feel like it. You know, before I forget, I should start feeding Nidra again, because now that the synchro rate went down after all those horrible East Tower attempts, it would probably be better just for my own peace of mind, I guess. I don't know. I still can't make up my mind if it's really cool or kind of lame that the best mag in the game is Nidra. Because, like, I would prefer to have a mag that, like, have the ability to make your mag just be the best one of whatever class you are. But then also having invincibility all the time is just objectively, like, one of the best things you could get out of a mag. Especially when you already have shifted the ban, so... Yeah, we've already been streaming for an hour and a half, huh? Time flies when you're chatting up. Got like 17 more viewers than I was expecting today. Yeah, I guess I'll stop over here, because, like I said at the very beginning of the stream, which no one was here for, once I hit, like, the 2-hour mark, I start to, like, just lose steam, so I figure it'd probably be best to just quit after this, rather than, like, push it. And now that I've said that, this will be the one where SJS drops. I'm just saying that to intentionally jinx myself, so that way this act... Okay, I'll stop. It's like an infinite loop if I keep saying that. I just followed you today, and even though I forgot where I found you from, I'm glad I did now. I think I know who you are. I think you're this person I followed on Twitter from Backlog. If I'm not mistaken. I could totally be. If I am, that's fine, but... Because there's this person I followed on Backlogs from, yeah, Backlogs on Twitter. Who had a Shuichi... Oh, no, you're not from Twitter. Okay, you're a different person, then. I lied. Maybe you just found me by random then, but don't mind me. I'm just being incorrect about things. But yeah, it's nice to see some people still actually like and care about Dreamcast stuff and watching PSO streams. Like I said, I had no expectations of getting viewers. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna call it here. I'll see you guys next PSO Saturday for more of this fun times. See you then.